A young man discovered a terrifying insect in his friend's apple. He immediately screamed and warned his friend. His friend, however, thought it was impossible for a fresh apple to have a worm. But as soon as he took a bite, he clearly saw the worm inside and was horrified. Surprised, he asked how the friend knew. At that moment, the young man suddenly discovered he had acquired the ability to see through things. Next, his gaze stumbled upon a jar, and through his ability, he saw that it was a treasure worth $1 million. He casually asked his friend how much the jar was worth. The friend replied that he had bought it for $100 and was willing to sell it to him for $50. The young man immediately took out $100 and handed it to his friend. Surprised, his friend asked why he wanted the jar, but he simply smiled and walked away with the jar. He then opened a small antique shop on the street. A wealthy daughter passing by noticed the jar and couldn't help but marvel at its age. Suddenly, a local thug approached, picked up the jar, and claimed it was his from now on. The young man immediately stood up and berated the thug. The thug yelled at him for being so bold, saying it was just a worthless jar. As soon as he finished speaking, a stranger surprised everyone by offering $1 million for the jar. The young man handed it to her. She immediately cleaned the jar and displayed it in its original state, and everyone present immediately recognized it as a valuable antique. Soon after, the young man was invited to the birthday party of a school beauty. During the party, a wealthy young man, hearing that he had opened an antique shop, deliberately brought out an old stove to test his eyesight. The young man took a quick look and realized that the stove was at least 1,000 years old. But when he told him the truth, the young man burst into laughter, and even the surrounding classmates shook their heads in disbelief. The young man then asked the man if he dared to buy the stove for $50,000, and to his surprise, the young man agreed without hesitation. The school beauty urged him not to act rashly, but the young man insisted, pulling out his phone and transferring money to the young man. The young man quickly handed him the stove, then burst into laughter and told the young man that it was actually a fake he had bought for $2. The young man didn't respond, but silently sipped his wine. Just then, the school beauty's father arrived, and everyone was still laughing at the man for buying a fake. Curious, the school beauty's father examined the stove and, shocked, declared it a priceless antique. He immediately offered $10 million for it. The young man was completely stunned.